Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Welcome back, family, to the mathematical universe. How you feeling this fine day? Hope everybody's feeling well this fine day. How you feeling? What's up? Oh, man. Oh, yeah. That's what my son likes to say. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up, family? How you doing? How's everybody doing out there in the world? All 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. What's up, family? How y'all doing? Instagram, what's up? Instagram, what's up? Woo, we got a doozy for y'all today. Instagram, if you can hear me, put the number 1 in the chat if you can hear me. And do remember to like, subscribe, and share. And you can comment if you can. Good day to all of you this fine day. Today is March the 7th, yo. March the 7th. That number 7 is in play today. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. We need y'all to do that. Today is Thursday, so let's go with the color of today. Today is Thursday, so let's go with the color of the day. According to Dr. Laila Africa's book and a few other people, let's go with the color today. The color of today is usually that purple. Let's go with that purple. Let's go with that purple. Let's go with that strong purple today. Royalty colors today. So if y'all out there, y'all wearing y'all royalty colors, have a great time. Enjoy the day. If you're wearing at least a tinge of it, just wear a tip of it, a touch of it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't put on a touch. I just put on my blues and my NOI shirt. You know what I'm saying? Because we about to take this to a whole nother mathematical level. We're about to take this to a whole mathematical level. And like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad used to say, like he used to say back in the day, after learning mathematics, which is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, it stands true. And you can always prove it at no limit of time. Then you must learn to use it and secure some benefits while you are living. That is luxury, money, good homes, friendship in all walks of life, from the supreme wisdom lessons of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Let's give that great elder for telling us about the mathematical equation. Let's give him a round of applause. Got to give the messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, a round of applause. Mathematics is life. Life is mathematics. If Islam is a way of life, then you should live your life in a mathematical way, not a robotic way. There's a difference. Mathematics is the grand architects of the universe and is one of the language of who you may call God or goddesses or Allah or Allat. The male and the female divinity part of it. So, hey, let's understand it, understand, and use it to the best of our abilities, man. Remember that. Again, I need every one of you that know someone that's on their spiritual journey to send them this particular broadcast, because we're going to touch on something that the late, great Reverend Ike spoke about on a recent broadcast that they posted. And every time you think, I'm going to delve into the word think from a numerovational perspective, talking, and divinity. 3 words we're going to focus on today. And we're going to go to the dictionary for this, because I do have sessions today. So please share with at least 5 people on this live. Share this 5 with, even on Instagram, on Facebook. Share it with whomever you think is on a spiritual journey and are ready for the mathematical perspective of this spiritual journey. And do remember, circulation, baby. PayPal and Cash App. PayPal and Cash App is on the board. PayPal.me/King Simon the Numerovator. And I might make this a twofold thing today. And if you do have questions, before you put any questions in that chat, you got to circulate and donate to the machine. You got it? Circulate and donate. Circulation and donation driven if you choose to ask a question and receive a numerovational answer pertaining to the subject matter today, what Simon says, because Simon going to say a lot today. Brother Simon is going to say a lot today from the mathematical universe. Some people call it mathematical, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to say a lot today. So if you do want to circulate some funds, I'll be watching my email account. So if you send a PayPal or Cash App and you put a question in there, I will definitely answer the questions if you circulate. $4.44 and up. $4.44, not $1.99. Do not put $1 in there. I will return it back to you. Do not put $2.99. Do not put $3.99. Put $4.44. $5.55, $6.66. We keep it going just like that. We're going to keep those triple digits just like that. But do not put $1.11. No, I'm not taking no $1. Although I respect when you do it, but I'm staying focused and I'm keeping right there at those levels, because that 444 is important. 555 is important. 666 right now in this era of time, it's all about understanding the value of circulating. And the more you circulate, the more it comes back to you. Circulate, baby. Circulate, circulate, circulate. So my My Cash App and PayPal email account is up, so I can see when it's coming in. And if you put your name or your birthday and you want me to answer certain things in regards to your divinity or what you need to strive for with your numbers, I can help with a numerovational perspective. I'm all about this perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the perspective because this is what it is. It is a perspective that I'm working with. You know what I'm saying? And all perspective is right from that person's perspective. You don't have to disrespect it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to do nothing to it. You don't have to do anything to it, but add on or add your perspective to it. So you see it scrolling down there on the bottom, paypal.me/King Simon or $ Cash App King Simon 3158. So it's scrolling on the bottom. Do not send any super chats. No super chats. No super chats. No super chat. I can't with super chat right now. Don't send super chat. And when I figure that out, I'll figure it out before this end of this month. I'll figure out what's going on, where the super chat is going, because I've been going through some stuff with that. Okay. Ooh, do I have my water around? Hold on. Let me make sure I got my water popping. I got to make sure the water's popping. Boom. Oh, man. So we're going to do it twofold. While I'm teaching, I will answer questions, but you got to circulate. You got to circulate. This is a circulation and donation driven day because you know the 3 plus the 7 plus the 8 equals 18. Woo, today is an 18 number 9 universal day. So for everybody pertaining to today, and of course, today's subject is every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. Let me say that again for the people in the back of the mathematical universe. The late, great Reverend Ike, I was listening to it, and I said, I got to talk about those words. Think, talking, and divinity. So every time you think, family, every time a thought is manifesting out of your very mouth through words, you are actually talking to your divinity. And your divinity, that's why you got to be very careful how you think. Minister Farrakhan used to speak about it was Nuri Muhammad quoting Minister Farrakhan about the stinking thinking. Your stinking thinking can get you in trouble. Big up to Nuri Muhammad. You know, he put his words, have some fun with them words. But he was talking about what Minister Farrakhan said years ago about people's thought patterns. And then when I heard Reverend Ike, which is an old video, an old cassette that he did years ago, every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. So when you meditate, family, you are meditating in conversation with your inner divinity connected to your God, your Allah, your whatever you call him, your Jesus, your Yahshua, your Yahweh, whatever you call him, Jehovah. You're thinking and talking to your divinity. Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? And who's listening? Because you're not just the only one listening. Something else, some other frequency, some other entity is listening as you are thinking. That's why if you're thinking wicked and bad about other people, your divine self will attest to you and it will make you accountable. That's why I'm not depending on anybody to judge me. You judge yourself by the words and your actions that you do. So yes, I may have done my wrong back in the day, but I gotta be judged from those actions. That is why we try to maintain balance, that featherweight, that scale of the heart and that feather. Finding balance. You know what I'm saying? And he talked, and this Mr. Muhammad said, get past the ego. There's a positive ego and there's a negative ego. There's a positive and negative to everything. So we can't get past the ego. You just got to learn to check the negative ego. Check the negative ego and maintain the positive ego that helps you to enhance God's origination or originality in you. because that's EGO, enhancing God's originality. That's my acronym. But when you are etching God out, like Les Brown used to say, that's the negative part of ego. When you're etching that creative force out of you. So there's a positive sense of ego and there's a negative. We've always gone towards the negative. We always talk about ego as being a negative. And ego is a word that has a sound, that has a vibration, and they have a positive and a negative to it. Because sometimes the ego allows you to get up and go and do what you're supposed to do for yourself or your family or the community. That is a part of the ego. But are you bringing the negative part of the productive ego to produce something that's going to be dangerous for the family, dangerous for the community, dangerous for yourself? There's two sides to this. So don't throw that word ego at me if you ain't ready to deal with both sides. If you're only dealing with the negative side, then get off my channel. But if you're dealing with the positive side and understanding that we need to check the negative side of ego, that's when you got it. That's when you understand, because I always say, and I always quote A.R. Bernard, he says, manage your weaknesses and strengthen your strengths. Manage your weaknesses and strengthen your strength. So yes, there's a weak side of ego and there's a strengthful and strong side of ego. It takes ego for someone to come before a camera. But what you do with that ego, if you're coming with trolling and negativity and all that, that's the negative side of ego. It takes an ego for you to get up and be presented and present yourself every morning, every day at your job in front of people. So the ego is necessary. The ego is necessary, but you want to make sure that you're enhancing God's originality, God's observance, God's observation to this world, and offering something that can be of value with your ego and not the one that's going to devalue or become a problem with your ego. Oh yeah, that word ego, I broke that word down a long time ago. I got no problem. Ego, ergo, all of that. You know what I'm saying? The words have sound. That's why I got on the board, word, sound, power. Word, sound, power. So every word, every little word you take, every little word you say, word, sound, power. And it causes a vibration that can ripple across the universe, ripple across your universe, ripple across your mental universe. That's why the late, great Reverend Ike said, every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. He says to God. I say your inner divinity because I don't want to disrespect anybody, because all of us have the inner divinity. Are we willing to use it appropriately? It is up to you, the individual, because there are going to be negative people, and even negative people have good days. They have some negative people like to laugh and joke, but they're planning for the next negative thing they want to do. Look, you go to sleep every day. When a person is sleeping in their bed, whether you're negative or positive, there's nothing there. You're just sleeping. You're just relaxing. But then when you come up and get up, your ego says, all right, what kind of shenanigans can I get in today so I can upset somebody's life, upset somebody's family, upset somebody by robbing or stealing or thieving or scamming or grifting, whatever you're doing. Got to think about that ego. So the word, I got to go to the dictionary. Going to the dictionary, friend. I got to go to the dictionary. Got to go to the dictionary before I get it. And remember, I got sessions today, so your brother is going to just do what I got to do to make it happen. Boom. All right. The word think.
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 The first meaning from a verb perspective, it says have a particular opinion, belief, or ideal about someone or something. The next one is use in questions to express anger and surprise. I think, use in speech to reduce the force of a statement or opinion, or to politely suggest or refuse something. Number 2, direct one's mind towards someone or something. Use one's mind actively to form connected ideals. Have a particular mental attitude or approach. Have sufficient foresight and awareness to do something. Imagine an actual or possible situation. The noun, an act of thinking. An act of thinking. Now, I like that. I like one of the meanings where it says have a particular mental attitude or a approach. Because if you understand how you are thinking on a daily basis, then you got to make sure you develop a particular mental attitude or approach to what you're thinking and what you're thinking about and how you're thinking about. So I like that meaning right now. But we know basically from a noun perspective, it's a Germanic word. It's related to Dutch and German. That's an old English, and all that comes from the old English, German, Dutch, and all that. But I like that meaning right now. I like that meaning. But we know the word think is an act of thinking and all the other meanings. So I'm going to snatch that meaning right there, have a particular mental attitude, because that's what I'm trying to say when I'm saying every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. That's one of the aspects that I want to share with you, what I just found in that word. Okay, think. So let's go to the other word before we go to the next. Let's go to the next word. And the next word is talking. The next word is talking. And we know the root word of talking is talk. But we're going to go to the word talking. Talking, engaging in speech. Beautiful. I like that. Engaging in speech, the action of talking, speech, or discussion. Speak in order to give information and express ideals and feelings, and converse and communicate by spoken word. Having the power of speech, discuss personal or intimate feelings. Interesting. Persuade or cause someone to do something by talking. The informal meaning, used to emphasize the seriousness, importance, or extent of the thing one is discussing. Reveal secrets and confidential information. Gossip. It's a form of talking too. Okay. Having formal dealings or discussion, negotiate, or the number 3, use a particular language in speech. Now, which one should I go with? Having the power, because remember what the topic is. Every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. Every time you think. So I like the meaning discuss personal or intimate feelings, because if you're thinking internally, it's something that's intimate to you, something that's personal to you. And when you're personally and intimately talking or feeling in any way, you are talking to your divinity. So I like that particular meaning, although all the meanings in here is good. So I'm going to put that also in my description here. Boom. Next word before I shut this down, where we're going to focus. I'm just focused on certain meanings of these words. Next word, divinity. And we know the root word of divinity is divine. Divinity. Divinity. A state or quality of being divine. A divine being or God or goddess. The study of religion or theology. Okay, let's go with the divine being. But also it can be connected to a state of quality of being divine, because all of us are divine in our own way, especially if we're the children of the Almighty Creator. But I want to go with that meaning right there, the divine being or God or goddesses, because that's what we all are. We're just divine beings having a human experience. That's all we are. Divine beings having a human experience. All right, good. So I can shut that down. I don't need to do no more meanings there. Okay, just want to make sure we are clear, family. Man. Instagram, can you hear me? If you're on the Instagram and you can hear me, please put a number 1 in the chat. If you're on Instagram and you could hear me, put a number 1 in the chat. Where you at? Instagram, where you at? Where you at? Instagram, where you at? Put a number 1 in the chat. Put a number 1 in the chat. Where you at? Instagram, where you at? Where you at? Instagram, where you at? Put a number 1 in the chat. Put a number 1 in the chat. All right, people, 111 and 11111. Did everybody get to share the link? Please, did y'all share the link? If you share the link, click sure. All right, everybody. Okay, Wolfman, okay. I used to howl at the moon years ago when I was young. Man, talking about talking to your inner divinity, man. I was something else when I was a child, because I used to look at the moon and I used to be in a car, and it's like, yo, the moon is following me. Yo, why is that moon following me, son? Why is that moon following me? How many of y'all used to think the moon was following y'all when y'all was a child? How many of y'all used to think that? Put the number 2 in the chat, because the 2 is a moon number. If y'all thought that the moon was following you in the chat when you was a young child, put the number 2 in the chat. Cause I thought the moon was always following me. I always look out of the car and I'm like, yo, why is that? That's how I used to think. And then I remember when I was with my little cousin before he transitioned. Little cousin died of sickle cell anemia. My other cousin James, his son, had transitioned from sickle cell. So we was in the car going to a funeral, and I didn't even know that he was going to be the next going to. But he looked at the moon too, and he seen that the moon, he looked at me, and I wasn't paying attention, and he tapped me on my side in the car while we was going to my aunt's funeral. And I was coming back from the repast, and it was like nighttime, and he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Look, the moon is following us." And I laughed. I said, "Oh my gosh." I said, I told him, that's the same way. That's the same thing I used to think, sir. That's the same way I used to think. As a little child, he was like 5 or 6 years old, and then he transitioned the next year after. So it was so crazy from sickle cell anemia. So may he rest in peace, that little boy, man. What a powerful young man. May he rest in peace. But I used to think the same way, and tears are coming to my eyes because I remember that moment. Remember, we could sometimes time travel. And I time traveled right, and I know where I was sitting. I remember where he was sitting, and remember that we was in a limousine, or a particular. We was in a limousine driving back. I think it was a limousine. Yeah, it was either a limousine or a truck. But I remember him tapping me on my shoulder and saying, "Hey, Simon, look, the moon is following us." And I said, "You know what? Yes, it is. It follows all of us. It used to follow me when I was a child. It's following you, and that's so beautiful, my brother." I remember that. So sentimental. So again, divinity of thoughts. And sometimes those thoughts, every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. So through your inner divinity, you could also propel yourself back into time to favorable, traumatic moments, all of that. So you got to be very careful how you think, not just from the past, but the present and what you're going into for the future. Because remember, it can affect you, ESP, I call it. It can give you ESP. It can affect you emotionally, spiritually, and physically. It can affect you emotionally, spiritually, and physically. The words that we say and how we talk to our inner self and our inner powers and our inner abilities. We have to learn to lay a blueprint on our conversations with ourselves. We have to have a blueprint for our conversation for ourselves. So when every time we do think, and because it's a conversation with the inner part of who you are. So even if you're doing things on the negative, the negative part of divinity will show up, because divinity it can be positive and negative. You can have divine criminals out there that were so profound and so good at what they do, they died natural death instead of going to prison. Or they chose to take themselves out because that was the thinking that they had, and that was the conversation that they had with their own inner divinity. Because all of us have that divine energy in us. I don't care if you're a knucklehead on the street. I don't care if you're a minister on the podium. I don't care if you're a homeless person on the street. I don't care if you're a prostitute on the pole. I don't care if you're a train rider on a pole. I don't care what you're doing. Every one of you, me, our children, our grandmother, our grandfathers have divinity. And when we think, every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. So you got to be very mindful of how you chat and how you talk, because sometimes your talking can be destructive to your inner divinity, and then your inner divinity just start operating where you want to go with it. So you leave this planet before time because you did something negative, or because you went to a place and trusted people, and you knew they was wolves in sheep's clothing. You knew it. My spirit says Nipsey Hussle went back into his neighborhood to build the marathon and still got taken out by some jealous person. Whether he was set up or not, that is a form of jealousy. So it was divinity taking out divinity for his own grandizement and his own purpose, when this brother was trying to do something masterful. And he transitioned and get taken out at the age of 33. He was born August the 15th. He was born August the 15th. So his number that he was born under, that 15, which equals the 6, is a number of love, family, wanting to give, be a consult. That's why people used to say that he would come and talk to anybody. If you asked him and came up on him, he'll talk to you, because the number 6 is that number of consultation. So people come to those people born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month to get a balanced perspective from them. And if you have a lot of 6s in your chart, they come to get a balanced perspective from you. And his alignment number, which is so key, his alignment number was a 23. When you add that number, I'm talking about Nipsey Hussle. When you add that 8 plus that 15, it adds up to 23, and that's called the royal star of the lion and the lioness. It's a promise of advancements. I talk about it in my book, that number 23. It's the symbol of the royal star of the lion and lioness. And in many teachings, older teachings and studies of numerology, it is also known as the best combination of numbers to have in numerology. 23 is the number of being charming, being witty, known for being a free thinker, love their freedom to be what they want to do on multiple levels. And we never cannot say that Mr. Nipsey Hussle wasn't that. And it's so ironic. The man comes from the other part of Ethiopia, Eritrea. I don't know. I get it mixed up also sometimes. And he looked like His Imperial Majesty, Selassie. And His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie, was born on the 23rd of July. And Nipsey Hussle's alignment number is a 23rd. And the number 23rd is the symbol of the royal star of the lion and the lioness. This is powerful connection. To me, the Ethiopians and that side of the country, I'm not even going to butcher up that name. They're family. That's why he looked like His Imperial Majesty. I wouldn't be surprised he has some bloodline descendancy connected to His Imperial Majesty. I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. If we dig deeper, you'll find him traced to that lineage. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying. But he had that look, and he was doing a marvelous thing, trying to express himself through music, express himself through business, express himself through the support. Even he supported Dr. Sabi and all of that. Him and his beautiful wife, Laura London. So, man, so much. There's so much, but I can't be up here all day. There's so much, but I can't be up here all day. Because I got sessions I got to do. Let me make sure that I'm not interrupted. Okay, good. I'm checking my time. So Again, family, like I said, when I came on live, I said the most honorable Elijah Muhammad says, after learning mathematics, which is life, or what he says, Islam, but what after learning mathematics, which is Islam, or which is life, and life is mathematics, it stands true, and you can always prove it at no limit of time. In mathematics, through numbers, you can prove to no limit or time. I know this. I don't believe this. And every system that deals with any type of metaphysics or deals with every type of spirituality or deals with any type of science has a mathematical equation connected to it that can be used for the benefit of human growth and development so we can connect better to our divinity. So big up to another master number frequency from in her own perspective, Miss Blue, that came to my spirit because Miss Blue says, you go live a lot, King Simon. I said, I move with my spirit. Because now that I'm in 11 personal year, and 11 is a master number that don't frequently come, don't come to you so frequently. If you read what Lloyd says in his book about the master number, a personal number 11 year, and why I'm doing it and why you're hearing from me a lot. It's not that something is happening or something, but something is happening. Something has changed in me. That's why no enemy formed against me will ever prosper. Because I'm doing the necessary work than what I was doing from my past. Not worried about people no more in their madness. I'm not worried about that. So I tell my enemies, become my friend and just learn from afar. Leave me alone. Because every time I think I'm talking to my inner divinity and I'm telling my inner divinity to tell your inner divinity to leave King Simon alone. Let him do his work without obstruction. And because if you read Lloyd's book, he says, the 11 personal year, abstract expressions, revelation, and a spiritual awakening. He says this is a special cycle year because it doesn't come often. You'll have a deeper sense of mission and purpose, more inspiration and initiative in wanting to help others by lighting the way. So when you're in an 11-year cycle, or you're born connected to that number 11, or you have a certain amount of 11s in your chart, whether it's in your first name, your last name, your middle name, or your birthday, if it shows up, I look for it because there's a mission you are on. So this is the year for me to want to help others by lighting the way, and giving light is through giving knowledge and information and numerovational breakdown. That's why I say I'm circulating. And if you are benefiting from what I do, don't be afraid to circulate to the Cash App and the PayPal. I don't have to keep on showing it in your head. I'm not Umar. Umar's trying to build a school. That's what he's doing. So he has to keep on saying it. I don't have to keep on saying it. But if your inner divinity is speaking to you because I'm trying to share something to you every time I come up here, then you, by right, should be willing to circulate. And it's all right because every time you circulate, it comes back. Don't spend money. Don't pay no bills. Circulate your money. Circulate to your bills. Circulate. Because circulation will help the percolation of your manifestation. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Talk that fast. Big up the Panic. He just came through. And then Lloyd goes on to say, if you were born on the 11th of any month and come under the sign of Leo and Aquarius this year, and I'm born under the sign of Leo, I'm born under the sign of Aquarius, and Leo's the other side, this year will be all more important. Ideals and hunches will come with lightning speed. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. If you notice, since January, since the ending of the year, coming into January, I just keep on coming on. No matter how many people's watching. I just keep on coming on. That's why I ask you to share and tell people to like and subscribe to the channel. So when I come in, if you need some good messages that can connect you to your numbers, let me give it to you from my numerovational perspective. Let me give it to you. I'm here to help. And if you want to book a session with me, then you text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. Remember, the study of numbers or numerology is applied mathematics. I want you to learn how to apply your mathematics, and they will guide you. It's yours. You've been calling out your birthday and your name every year, and every name and birthday has a mathematical vibration. Why not use it? What you got to lose? I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, Hebrew, spiritual, Ifa, Akan. I don't care what you are. Satanism. I don't care what you're practicing. But if it can help and be that stepping stone for you to grow to be your best self, living my best life, ain't going back and forth with you. Living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with nobody. That's why I don't debate no one. I'm here to guide and teach with the mathematics, because no one can argue with numbers. No one can argue with the math. You got skeptics, and you could be skeptical because it seems so easy. No, it's not easy. I will never tell you it's easy. But when we have taken our time to take the time to study the ancient science of these numbers, and be willing to pay attention to the patterns, cycles, and sequences of these numbers, and be willing to manifest books and be author so we can help disseminate information for you so you can be better. Hey, look, some of the people that I've consulted multimillionaires. I'm not a multimillionaire in that sense. I'm a spiritual multi-trillionaire. So my multi-trillionaire experience in what I do helps millionaires, helps billionaires. I talked to one of P. Diddy's artists. I'm not even gonna mention his name. It's one of my clients because he had a lot of artists. One of P. Diddy's artists is one of my clients. Multi-millionaire. But I'm not gonna mention no names because my shit, excuse my language, is confidential. I talked to one of Prince's friends one time, a woman. And he used to say Prince used to watch us on Sonetta TV or watch us with Brother Rich. Prince, before he died, listened to Blog Talk and all of that. I was like, what? And then when I went to, when Chadwick was around, remember I used to train martial arts in the same dojo with Chadwick. Chadwick said he watches us. He was watching us. And I did a consultation for him, and Chadwick got my book. I gifted my book to him. I didn't even want him to buy it. I said, Chad, this is yours. I pulled it out of my bag. It was an old book. It was one of that I was writing up in. I said, Chad, this is yours for you to study. It's a study book because I already wrote in it, but I had it in my bag. I was doing something and doing some cross-referencing and all that. And I gave him the book. Chadwick loved the studies of numbers because he told me when I broke down about his stomach and all that colon stuff and told him to watch out for people in Hollywood, he said, Simon, you ain't no joke. He said, you're right and exact, man. You absolutely right. And then he held his stomach. But none of us knew he had colon. None of us knew it. He didn't tell it because he was very to himself. So we didn't know. I couldn't help to assist more because I did something for 5 minutes with him. See, people don't understand those private things. So I didn't try to help him. I just gave him some information so he could be alerted. What he did with that, that's up to him. And now we're here and there's no more Chadwick Boseman. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my fault. I told him what it was from his mathematical perspective. And he said, yo, you're right and exact. And I have 2 witnesses to say that he did say that right there. And then, boom, a few years later, this is what happens to him. Boom. I'm going back to that just to show you that the numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves. Thank you, Lakin Live, for sending a 555 donation. 555 donation. And let me see what's going on with you. Since you send a donation real quick, circulating. Okay, but I want to share something with your name, if you don't mind, before I get into it. Since you send a donation, I'm going to respectfully do something with your name. And because your name, that first name, I'm gonna just deal with the Chaldean, the older system, which is actually the same as the Pythagorean system. 10, 15, 16. So, person named Lakin that sent me a $5 donation, you are supposed to always prepare before you do anything. Always have a plan because this adds up to 16. 5 plus 5 is 10, 15, 16. So that number is the number of creativity and finding balance. And when you are creative and finding balance, or willing to be creative and finding balance, you need to lay a plan and a blueprint for it so you can attract the law, because 7 is the law of attraction number. So if you're creative and balanced, then you can attract what you need to yourself, but you've got to make sure your mind is right. Let me say that again. I'm talking to him because he donated. If it's a him or her, because you donated 555. I said in between that I would do this in between what I'm teaching because I got a little time. Simon says, ask a question, receive the numerovational answer, but this is, you would have to donate like I have scrolling on the bottom, circulate or donate if you want me to answer any questions in this chat. But that person donated and I just showed some love through their numbers. So thank you for that donation. Thank you for the I'm going to circulate it back to you. I'm going to circulate information, and I hope that information helps Laken, Laken. I hope that information helped what I just said for them, because that's all I want to do is help. Just like I said, 16 is the number of fatality on the negative, so you got to plan what you do or you plan to fail. And if you plan it from a creative and balanced and harmonious perspective with the 1 and the 6 there, then it adds up to the number 7 that deals with the law of attraction, the need to dig deep and study and meditate and then attract what you want. Because whatever you think about, again, going back to the topic, every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. And that's why this number is very important about planning, because when you think lacking, you're talking to your inner divinity, and that inner divinity will attract what you need, whether it's positive or negative. You got to be very mindful of it. Thank you very much for that 555 donation. Thank you very much. I am appreciative. I'm going to let you know that. I'm letting people know that I'm appreciative. That's why I'm dropping it. So let's get into the words. Let's get into the words that we have here. Let me put this book over here. And if you do want to donate, you can do Cash App or PayPal. And if you put a birthday up there or put a name, you want to deal with your name, remember the name comes with the gifts, talent, skills, and expression, inner urge, all that kind of stuff. When you do a full session with me, I go into all of that from my perspective, from a numerovational perspective. And when you do it, remember my sessions are question driven. Why I want people to ask questions is because something in your soul allowed you to come to me to do this session. So I want you to tap in and open your mind to ask 1 or 2 questions, or have at least 2 or 3 questions ready. Because usually when you ask me the first question, I might just go with the whole flow and I answer all your questions before I'm finished. Sometimes a person asks me one question and I'll go for 10 minutes straight. And they'll be like, whoa, damn, King Simon, you gave me a lot. I'm glad you're recording this. Yes, I record everything so I can send it to you, but I don't keep it. I delete it after. I give it to you and you go on to that private YouTube page and it's yours. I send you the link and it's a private YouTube link and you'll be able to see the commercials running while I'm talking to you. You'll hear our voice. But it depends. I need the questions because I know that every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. So every time you ask a question, it's coming from your inner divinity. I just want you to be divine. Find your divinity and stop playing with it. I know we've been lost in the sauce. I know we need to learn to recall. I know we need to realign and reassign ourselves. I know this. But we can do this. That's why I'm not caught up in the black power and this. That serves its purpose for who wants to do that. I did that already. My job is to heal the individual so you can be a better participant of the Black Power movement or the Islamic movement or the Christian movement or the Hebrew movement or the Ifa movement or the Akan movement or any spiritual sessions that you want to do or spiritual systems you want to be. I'm just that part of that puzzle. That's all. To help you with the words that you use and the names that you use. So you can make sure that the vibration is in alignment with you. Because if your name vibration and your birthday vibration isn't aligned with your occupation, then you will not enjoy what you're doing. That's why most motivational speakers says, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. So I want you to do what you love. And numerology, astrology, cardology, cosmophysics, I Ching, and all of them are tools to use so you don't abuse your divinity. Tools to use so you don't abuse your divinity, because every time you think, you're talking to your divinity. Every time you think, you're talking to your divinity. Hello? Hello? Real talk. Rahubat. Peace. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. All of that. All of it. I embrace all of it. You know? So it is what it is. Depending. Okay. Cheryl Lee, you just sent me something and you said negative number 15 day for doctor appointment. Well, when it comes to somebody like you, because you're born August the 22nd, remember, the number 6 is supportive of that number 2, but because 22 adds up to that number 4, that can be a challenging number. So I would always suggest somebody born on August 22nd, it's best to do a doctor's appointment probably on the 4th. Anything that adds up to a number 4, like 13, the 22nd of the month, or the 1st, anything that adds up to the number 1, like 19, 10, 28, or anything connected to the number 5, 5th, or 23rd, or the 14th of the month. I would suggest that, not the 15th of the month per se, but depending on what day. Remember, your power days are Sunday and Wednesday. So if it's on a Wednesday, you could offset that. But this month, we're in the month of March now. Well, February is February, June, August, and September are your power months. So, you got to think about what you're doing. And because, again, that 22 adds up to the 4. Yes, the challenge numbers can be the 6 and the 8. And since 1 and 5 equals the 6, that's what you got to be a little bit alerted with. And also 7 is one of your power. 2 and 7 is also one of your power numbers too, according to the science of numerology. So thank you for that $5.55. Thank you very much for sharing that. So I just want you, now you can gauge it. Now, if 1 and 5 is your power numbers, if you stay with the 1 and 5 and don't even think about the 6, that 15 can be very beneficial to you. Just showing you how to, because it's you. Numbers are just here to guide. So no number, every number has its positive and negative, but that 1 and the 5, if I don't look at it to be a 6, then that 1 and 5 is your supportive numbers. Because again, your numbers is the 4, 1, 5, and 22. So 1 and 5 is right there, but because it adds up to a 6, that's when it becomes a challenge. And sometimes the challenges are necessary. Sometimes it's here to challenge you to be your best and how to be your worst. So it depends on how you handle the appointment when you go to the doctor. So if you go on the 15th, make sure they allow you to play meditative music. So to balance you out, if that's the only time you could do it. But I just mentioned what are your good days, your numbers, and all that. And when you do a session with me, I give people their good days and numbers and all that kind of stuff. And their power numbers, their power days, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's very important because that helps you to learn how to navigate and so to be in the best place in the best time. But again, you gave me $5.55. That's why I am circulating this information. 6 is one of your challenge numbers. I would never suggest somebody to do something on their challenge number. I would suggest them to do it more on supportive numbers that are supporting numbers, months, and days that supports them. So getting back. Okay. People are sending donations. Okay. I see. Okay. People are donating. Yeah. Asantewa. Okay. What's the question you want to ask? Is it pertaining to this? One thing, if you're born on 12/26, If you're born on 12/26, let me tell you something real quick. Ya Santiwa. Be very careful on how you allow people in your life. Because 26 in numerology, if you read my book, 26 in one of the studies of numerology is the symbol of consideration of the path taken with people, places, and things, treading lightly, and of caution with people, places, and things. And the 26 is the number that says you got to be mindful of disasters brought by acquaintances with others, losses brought about by bad speculation, bad partnerships, bad unions, and bad advice. So if your internal wisdom, if your God that's talking to you, your divinity that's talking to you tells you to stay away from somebody, stay your ass away from them. I know you like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but stay away from them. Remember your alignment number, Ya Santiwa. Your alignment number is a 38, which is an 11. And 11 is the master number of equilibrium, new beginnings, the ability to master wisdom and efficiency acquired during the past cycles of the 1 through 10. And it's a spiritual doorway. Spiritual doorway. So don't play with your 11 alignment. And also on the negative, you got to remember people with that 11 alignment number or have 11 around them in any way, no matter if it adds up to 47 or 38 or whatever, y'all got to be careful of being deceivers or being deceived, especially by people of the opposite sex or friends that said they were your friends and all of a sudden they doing all kind of underhanded-ish. Thank you very much for that circulation. So, but like I said, I want to get into my program. Think, talking, and divinity. Remember, every time you think, you're talking to your divinity. Somebody said just to send another cash app. Okay. Hey, look, I'll go with that. Somebody send another cash app. Boom. 888. Okay. 888. That's Journey with Jay. Okay, Journey with Jay. You had a question that you wanted to ask. Wanted to ask a question. I can deal with that name Jay and why you gotta be the name Jay. 111155 Again, your name J adds up to a 7, which deals with spiritual attraction, religious movements, also deals with spirituality, the need to always look within in order for you to bring the best part of you out. That's what the name J alone, that's what it means. And then you have a lot of ones, so you got to be assertive in your spiritual development so you can maximize it in the physical realm. That's what you have to learn to do. So 7 is the law of attraction number, but like I said earlier about that number 7, it depends on what you attract because you can enhance what you attract. So if you're attracting anything negative because of that conversation, every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. And if you're whatever you're thinking and whatever you're talking to, if you're not making sure that it's positive and productive, you could overthink and you could become mentally unstable. And stop overthinking. What you need to do is meditate and manifest. And I'm just talking about that name, Jay. That's all I'm talking about. Because he circulated, or that person circulated $8.88 to show love to the station, show love to the channel. But let's go to the words real quick. Thank you very much for that circulation. Now, again, family, think about that. Think about this. The word think, every time you think, adds up to a number 26. You see, we just finished talking to somebody about the 26. The 26 have to be careful. How you think, you have to be careful of attracting bad associations, bad advice. Like I said about the number 26 in my book. But On the other end of the word think, it adds up to a 17, which is an 8. Now, when you think properly, 17 is the number of leaving a legacy. So your thought patterns or how you think can leave a legacy with you if you're not careful. Your thought patterns and how you think can leave a legacy. That's why it's important on how you think. Because the 1 and the 7 deals with creativity and spirituality, but it also deals with the law of success due to your creativity because of the 1 and the 7. And then the 8 will bring the financial creativity, the financial energy to you. If you're dealing with the 2 and the 6, now you got to be compassionate on how you think, bring balance to how you think so you can attract what you need to yourself in a balanced manner. Think. That's why every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. Big up to Diamond Dixon. She just sent 1111. What's up, Diamond Dixon? Let me see what you want to do. Okay. Diamond Dixon just sent 11. She born 6/13. Interesting enough, the word divinity adds up to 49, which is a 13. So this one is for you, Diamond Dixon. So make sure you be the diamond in the rough. Make sure you shine like a diamond and go through the pains and the pressure of a diamond, because that's what 13s came through to do. That's why in my book, Numerovational for Mental Stability, I talk about the number 13 being the symbol of power and dominion, if properly understood. But if it is wrongly used, that number 13, it will wreak destruction upon itself according to some occult studies, because 13 is a karmic number. And karma is not negative. Just remember, karma means cause and effect. So because that number 13 is a thinking number of creativity and expansion, you need to expand your thoughts, be creative with your thoughts, and then lay the foundation, because 13 equals the number 4, and 4 is the foundation that you have to lay so you can build to be your best self. So you can't play with that. And then you got that Gemini energy, which is connected to the number 5. So sometimes you have a lot of scattered thoughts. You're all over the place. Get out of your head and start building your bed so you can jump on that bed, have a good time, and enjoy the moment of your life. Because if you're overthinking, remember 6 and 13 equals 19. And 19 is also another karmic number that whatever you start, you got to finish. And whatever was in your past might come back to haunt you if you're not careful with those karmic numbers. That's why whatever you put out there from a powerful thinking perspective, because what I just said, what is the topic for today? The topic today, family, if you've forgotten, every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. This is a numerovational perspective. So it's very important on how Diamond thinks, because if you're not thinking appropriately, especially with that number 13, which can be that can wreak havoc on itself if it doesn't think appropriately and think in the power of who you are and the dominion of who you are and carry yourself at that high. Remember, the tarot card for that number 13 is the death card. But death is transformation. Maybe you need to dead the negative and transform into the positive. Maybe you need to dead that relationship and transform into a new relationship with your inner self so you can better yourself, so you can attract the better self. Maybe you need to dead that job and go into a new job that you've always wanted to do. Remember, your alignment numbers are number 19, which is a 10, which is a 1. So 19 is the sun number in tarot, and the sun shines light onto things. So it will allow you to shine light on your thinking, so your thinking won't become stinking thinking, but your thinking will become talking of divinity to yourself. I'm talking to you and everybody else that's listening, but this one is for Diamond Dixon also. I didn't even go into the year, but if you want to book a session with me, hey, don't play with me. Black people, you want to book a session with me, I'll break it down. But I do require the questions. I love questions. So Diamond, I hope that helped you a little. It's only a little bit. You only got a little bit. I only got a little bit, Diamond. You putting up hearts. I see you putting up hearts there. Ashe. I see the Ashe. You got a beautiful picture there, girl. You married? Let me stop. I'm single. Big up the powerful. Wolfman said powerful. Appreciate you. You on spot. Oh, thank you very much. Spot on. You spot on. Diamond, remember, it's all about, they used to call me back in the club days. They used to call me Simon, King Simon, the gal, them diamond. Yo, our Jamaican family be coming up with all kinds of stuff. Simon, the gal, them diamond. Because they used to see me dance with all the women back in the day in the nightclub. While I have a microphone in my hand, I'm dancing and whining to roll, gal, roll, and gal, 4 gal will come around me. I just roll everything upon me back in the day. I used to have fun. I don't care what nobody says. Oh, she married to you, huh, Wolf? No disrespect, brother. I was just asking. But that's what, you got a beautiful picture. You got a wolf on your picture. You got to stop playing with that. But yeah, so it's so important that you learn to understand that every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. Every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity. And once you understand that your thoughts and your thought patterns are very important, how you think. And then when we go to the word talking adds up to 29, which is a number 11. In the Pythagorean and in the Chaldean, it's a number 19. Just like I said with Diamond, her alignment number adds up to that number 19. And why it's important, because when you're talking, you're shedding light and you're shining light onto things. You're shining light onto things when you're talking, whether you're shining light onto negative things or powerful things. Oh yeah, y'all go ahead and take that to the room. Y'all don't be making love on my channel here, but nah, it's all right. Do what y'all got to do. No disrespect, Wolf. She got a beautiful picture. Let's be real. And I know that's a beautiful thing. All right, that's beautiful to have a beautiful sister, and I hope for you. Hopefully, you're a beautiful man. So if you got a beautiful sister, you must be a beautiful brother. So getting back to talking. Because 19 is the number that sheds light onto things, and then it adds up to the number 10, which deals with the wheel of fortune and the wheel of accomplishment, that you can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, both negative and positive, while you're talking. Think about it. And then talking adds up to a number 29, and in my book, the number 29 is a very significant number because that's the symbol of compassion and completion of vision. So you're supposed to be able to talk yourself into completing your vision and be compassionate about it, because the word talking adds up to number 29. But on the other hand of the number 29 and the other side of the number 29 family, you're welcome. Much respect, brother. No, you know how it is. We just having fun. But the other side of the 29, you got to remember, it comes with uncertainties. So in your talking, make sure that your divinity and your talking is one in sync with each other. Make sure you're talking out of the purity of your heart and your mind molded together. Because like the great sister Myra Mars says, when the intellect is exhausted, that's when the intuition takes over. But if you put the intellect and the intuition into power and use the intuition and the intuition and the logic together, then you could have that's when you're operating on that higher divinity of who you are, because you understand what the intuition is telling you and you're logically moving on your intuition. So that's very important. So that's why in my book, when I talk about that number 29, it's the number of compassion, completion of vision. So when you're talking, you got to talk. You got to word, sound, and power your vision into reality, because it adds up to the master number 11, which is the number of fame and fortune. So whatever you put your mind to, whatever you put your thought to, whatever you put your expression to, whatever you think, you're talking to your inner self. And that's why when you meditate, you're talking to your creator. When you meditate, you're talking, but you're also listening to your creator at the same time. There's an old saying that says, when you pray, you're talking to your creator. But when you're meditating, you're finally listening to your creator. When you're praying, you're talking to your creator, whether you're talking inwardly or you're talking outwardly and yelling it out. But when you meditate, you're starting to listen and take in what you spoke to your creator about, what you spoke to your divinity about. And it can manifest as an answer right away, or it may take a few hours, it may take a few days, it may take a few years, whatever it takes, you're going to see it manifesting. Because many of us are talking our greatness and our powers outside of us, when in actuality, we need to talk our powers inside of us. And when I say talk it outside of us, we're pushing it away. We're pushing it away when we need to bring it back and then enter and understand it and then show the world your divinity. And then the word divinity adds up to a 49, which is a 13, like the sister Diamond, New Diamond, is born on the 13th. And it adds up to a number 23. Again, when we talked about that number 23 being the royal star of the lion and lioness, divinity represents the royal star. The 13 represents power and dominion. So your divinity and your divinity within all of us are royal. Our divinity in all of us have power and dominion if we use it correctly. If we use it correctly. So, before I finish, remember, every time you think, you're talking to your inner divinity, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And all of them can work together. ESP. I might have to put ESPM. And mentally. Shoot, since that came to thought, why not? And mentally. And mentally. ESPM. Now I got another one. ESPM sounds like a television show. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. So people, I got to get ready to do a session at 12. I'll take down, if you want to just to circulate, please, by all means, you can circulate through my PayPal and Cash App. But please like, subscribe, comment, and share this with these 5 people that are on a spiritual journey, that is serious about their spiritual journey. I don't want anybody coming to me if they're not serious about being open to what they want to receive from me, so I can circulate this information the best way I can from my perspective to you about your numbers. Don't book no session with me if you ain't ready. I am so dead serious about that. Don't book, because I'm not one of those people that's just here to read your numbers and make you sound all grand and beautiful, because I'm going to give you the positive and the negative. But I want you to make sure you tap into your soul to know what you want to ask. Because no one does this in a vacuum. No one spends their hard-earned money to do something like this without something internally talking to them to want to do this. Not just because of my compassion, not because I know how to break down numbers. It's because there's something about me connecting to you succinctly that you want to come in and dive and understand, old and young. Because I got old and young people coming to me. I got teenagers sometimes, they want to come to me through their parents. And it's all right. As long as the teenagers can comprehend and they have some head on their shoulders and they're ready, do not force nobody to come to me. Do not force this on anybody. Because sometimes it has to come, whether it comes through their friends. There's a young brother that's on there teaching about angel numbers and all types of stuff. And I sat in on their live one time just listening. And I love what those young brothers do. But it wasn't me that introduced him to numbers. He found it on his own through his own studies. And when they're ready to connect with me, I'm going to give them another perspective that they can go and fly with it. Now they're going to see it a whole nother way when they come to me. Because when you read my books, you're going to see, and the next book is going to come out, you're going to see a whole nother way. Because the downloads and the uploads from the mathematical universe, from the mathematical universe, from the micro and the macrocosmic universe is coming like me. Like it's like at a Jamaican club, all the bottles coming at me. And I'm like this. I'll have to catch the bottles as they come in. Oh my, whoa! I'm catching. That's how all these information. Oh yo, what's up? Oh damn! I'm like woo, yo. This is how it's coming to me. In my master number 11-year frequency. It's coming just like a bottle being thrown in them Jamaican clubs. It's coming just like that. It's coming just like that. I'm like, damn. Yo, so I'm with it. 1,000%. Let's do this. Let's do this. And that's why I come on a lot and talk what I feel after I learn from it. Because remember, numerovation means using the numbers for motivation. That's all. And whatever I've been motivated by, I connect it to the numbers. That's what makes me a numerovator. And I want you to be a numerovator too. So you could take my classes, you could take my courses. I have classes. I have a 3-hour class webinar, and I have an 8-hour course. So if you want to pay for that, you just text me and I'll tell you the price. And if you want to pay for it, boom, bam, boom. The 3-hour course is only $55 still. And the raw, uncut 8-hour course is $444. 8 hours. My sessions is $100 plus per half an hour. But 8 hours? Oh yeah, you'll have some fun learning, and you can learn on your own. Learn on your own, because that link will be yours forever, ever, ever, ever. And you'll be able to do what you got to do with it. Let's keep it simple. I am going to remix it though. And I'm going to reproduce it for more with other dynamics to it. But I have an 8-hour course that's out there ready to roll for anybody who wants to deal with it. All right. And remember, family, do remember, please, everybody, right now, vote for me. Vote for me for the Forbidden Knowledge Awards. 2nd annual Forbidden Knowledge. There's the number right there, 954. You can text to vote. 954-245-0086. That's 954-245-0086. Check this out.
King Simon, I love him. He's family, and he has one of the top shows on the Forbidden Knowledge TV network, actually. That's right. So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't. Yeah, this show is called, it was really based on Numerovation. It's a numerology show. And it's called How to Calculate Your Destiny. Yes. By King Simon. He's the host of the show. The show has done so well, we're now getting ready to start working on filming season 2. All right. So King Simon, one of the top shows on Forbidden Knowledge TV, streaming TV platform.
You heard that. You heard it from the people's mouth themselves that I am one of the top shows on Forbidden Knowledge Network, family. And I'm going to put that in the chat right now. Yeah, just make sure you vote. Here's the voting links right now. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. Here's the voting links. Make sure y'all go and vote for me. If you want to do it via website, that's the vote right there. That's it right there. Vote for King Simon. Vote for King Simon, television host. Dr. B has been nominated for spiritual leader. Brother Rich has been nominated. A whole host of people have been nominated this year. So please go and vote for all of us. Go vote for all of us on there. Keita has been nominated. The great Keita has been nominated. So big up to everybody that's been nominated alongside myself, television hosts and show. I want to beat all of them out in that category. I'm gonna beat all of them out in the category. If y'all share this and tell them to vote for King Simon. I want everybody to share with at least 5 people and tell them vote for King Simon. Vote for King Simon. Just say vote for King Simon, and you got to vote for. You got to vote in all categories in order for you to finish. So. Just go scroll through it and vote Brother Rich, Dr. B, myself, and whoever else, Donnie, Arcade, or whoever else is in there. Vote for all of us, and we'll make you proud. We're gonna bring that thing home. We're gonna bring it home, family. We're going to bring it home. I'm bringing it home. I'm going to have it right here, like alongside my other ones there. I'm going to have it right there. That's that's the one I got from last year, but that was because I was helping and outstanding help and service. And they gave it to us. But this time we're going for it 1,000%. We want to bring it home, home, home. All right. Just want to make sure y'all go ahead and vote. It's right there in the chat. It's right there in the chat. So make sure y'all go ahead and vote. It should be fun. Hopefully y'all can come on down. It's going to be August the 2nd all the way to the 4th. It's going to be a celebrity basketball game. I think there's also a big breakfast. I think there's a conference the next day. And then the last day will be the award ceremony on August the 4th. Let me make sure. Let me look at my calendar. I'm going to get all the advertisements and all the promotions in a few from Elizabeth. So yeah, it's August. It's on my calendar. Yeah, August 2nd all the way to the 4th. August 2nd all the way to the 4th. I'll be there from probably the end of July. I'll probably be there from the end of July, hanging out with family and friends and all that stuff. Depending. But y'all gotta come out. It's gonna be off the hook. We got a cruise, a celebrity cruise. That's gonna be off the hook also. Celebrity cruise is going to be off the hook also. So make sure y'all get y'all tickets and come on out. They got VIP tickets and all of that. Thank you very much. Don't know the other, can't really vote for them. Just go vote for anybody. Brother Rich is on there. Like I said, Dr. B Series is on there. Go research whoever you got to research and check it out. But go vote. You know what I'm saying? Brother, if you don't mind asking what's Brother Richard, you got to go to his channel. Go to his channel. I don't know it by heart. I know it's Rich Merritt or something like that. Rich Merritt at Gmail or Yahoo. But yeah, go to Brother Rich's channel. Go to Brother Rich. He got it on his channel, probably in his description or something. Go to Brother Rich's channel. Just voted. Thank you very much for voting. Thank you very much. But yeah, go vote for Brother Rich. And check him out, or hit him up on a DM, BlackMagic363. Hit him up at on Instagram. He answers his Instagram too. That's BlackMagic363 if you want to deal with Brother Rich. All right. Again, family, thank y'all very much for participating. Every time you think you're talking to your divinity, remember this has been King Simon Presents Only Quality People. Remember, make sure you vote for your brother on the Forbidden Knowledge Awards, man. Make sure you vote for your brother. Don't remember on the 10th, we have this beautiful sister coming in. She's been on my show before. Denise Renee Muhammad, aromatherapy, helpful scents for mind and body. That's going to be happening on Sunday, March the 10th on YouTube at King Simon Presents and other platforms. Remember, on Wednesday, myself and the only Carrie Ann Ingram had a good time yesterday. But next Wednesday coming up, boom, we have Hadia Barbell, Unleashing Your True Power, the life-changing lessons Hadia Barbell learned after quitting social media. Big up to her. And of course, Hadia is an old friend of mine, a good friend of mine for many, many, many years. I know her mom, I know her dad, I know her sisters and family and our brothers and all that. So big up to them. Also, big up to World of Girls, the legendary female R&B group. World of Girls will be on with me on Sunday, March the 17th, talking about their new album and then why they decided to come back into the entertainment business. And of course, that Wednesday again, our beautiful, we'll be doing something. Me and Carrie Ann Ingram, we're doing something that Wednesday after the World of Girls. And then on that Sunday, all of it is happening Women's History Month. I'm focusing on the sisters. Women's History Month, Jackie Braden from Nationwide Direct Lender, Voltage Mortgages, Life and Health Broker, Voltage Financial Services, and published author will be with me for the first time. She's helped Billy Carson out. She's helped Dr. B out. She's helped Brother Rich out. Sunday, March 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Big up to her on YouTube at King Simon Presents and other platforms. We'll have Jackie in the building. Beautiful Jackie. She's born on the 15th. Also, big up to her, that number 15. Also, big up to Professor James Smalls, April 6th and 7th. No holds barred. You want to be there. Boom. Tickets are now $35, and it's going to be more at the door. But if you show this flyer at the door, you will get a discount at the door. If you take a snapshot of this flyer and you can make it to this door at the YG Urban Cafe, 640 Evans Street, 1 to 5 p.m. discount at the door. And if you show this flyer, take a picture, snapshot of this flyer, and bring it to the door, I'll give you a discount. If you don't want to pay, you want to pay because it's going to be $45 at the door. So the discount will probably be $5 discount. So on that. But if you pay for your $35 ticket now through Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator, you'll get it. And you could go to Linktree for that $99 early bird tickets. The links to that early bird tickets will be pulled down on April the 1st. And it will be more at the door if you're doing this last minute stuff. But this is going to be April the 7th. That's going to be a private location, no holds bar Q&A symposium with the one, the only legendary Professor Smalls. And remember, I'll be coming to New York April 13th and 14th. So April 13th, we have Ma Bowman, the one who started the fig tree with Dr. Sabi, and all the herbal products will be with us. Unc Rising Sun and Mama Ella will be in the building with me. And it's called Spiritual Legacy with Sister Cafunia and the Nicholas Brooklyn family. All happening from 4 to 8 p.m. And then on Sunday, I got Dr. Shakira Moore with me. I got Lloyd Strayhorn with me. And I have the Tantric Master herself, Adara Moselle, will be with me. So that's going to be powerful too. So I'm doing a whole weekend with King Simon and friends. So we're going to be doing it. And each one of them is going to be different lectures from me, baby. We're going to have a good time. And then the next week after that week, there's going to be on the 27th and the 28th, Riza Islam will be in Nicholas Brooklyn. Riza Islam will be in Nicholas Brooklyn at the 27th and the 28th of April. Big up to Dr. Alayla Africa, LaylaAfrica.com. Hit him up. If you want to do any studio work, merchandising and all of that, photography and all that, hit up my son and his whole team over there at Green Studio NYC. Remember, and thank you, Agnes. I heard that you supported my son and y'all over there recording. Thank you, Agnes, to you and your husband, Cujo. Big up to y'all, or Free Spirit, or Free Spirit. I forgot your poetry name. Big up to you. And remember, support CarrieAnnIngram.com, CarrieAnnIngram.com for all that she do, all the meditating tarot needs and the spiritual needs. And also she has a jewelry connection. And make sure you hit her up at that jewelry collection website. That's, of course, KIOFKAI.com. And remember, always bigging up the Baba, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Make sure you get a session with him, do some palmistry, join up for his newsletter, get his app. All of that is on his website. Remember, I'm about to start recording. I'm recording this week. This audiobook, the raw version, will be on YouTube for free, but the mix with music and healing tones will be on Spotify and all those other channels. My son and I just discussed that. And look out for this coming out in the spring with Rainbow and myself. I'm the writer. It's written by me and illustrated by Rainbow Arts. And me and her are going to be doing some more projects together. Big up to Rainbow Art, born on the 27th of November. Big up to her. She born the same day as Bruce Lee. Wow! Remember, get all my books through Amazon or Kindle right now. Go get my books through Amazon. And also make sure you go to my Linktree. If you can't find it, go to my Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. I only have 10 slots left in the month of March. So if you want to book a session with me, I only have 10 slots left at the end of the month. The last week of the month, I only have 10 slots left in the month of March. So if you want to book a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Remember, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. Remember what Dr. B said, and I will be with Dr. B on March the 9th with Brother Rich's album release party in Cambada and the whole crew that's going to be there. Professor Griff going to be there. Aquarius Maxim going to be there. Soleil is going to be there. All of us going to be there. Raku is going to be there. Red and Blue Pill going to be there. We going to be in the building. But like Dr. B says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. And like Dr. Blair says, please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and soul to receive only truth in your love now. All right, family, take care. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Peace, love, and stay strong, stay focused, and be your great self. Take care.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are mere fragments from the periphery of the African cultural and spiritual system. And so I'm still making that statement that Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are fragments from the periphery of the African spiritual and cultural system.
The legend Professor James Smalls with special guests Destiny Pendarvis and Tassili Ma'at. Get your tickets at Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. Get them now.
King Simon. King Simon, I love him. He's family, and he has one of the top shows on the Forbidden Knowledge TV network, actually.
That's right.
So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't.
Yeah, this show is called, it was really based on Numerovation. It's a numerology show, and it's called How to Calculate Your Destiny.
Yes.
By King Simon. He's the host of the show. The show has done so well, we're now getting ready to start working on filming season 2. All right, so King Simon, one of the top shows on Forbidden Knowledge TV, streaming TV platform.
Eye to eye, heart to heart, each one teach one, us. This is Professor Imhotep, the Island Monk, here at Warrior Kido Jiu-Jitsu, Way of the Warrior Spirit. So we're here to go over the rules and try to make that as swift as possible for you guys. So the rules essentially are very few. Number 1 is to follow us on TikTok at the Island Monk, or if you have Instagram, you can follow us at Warrior Temple Island University, or if you really love us and want to show us support, you can follow us at both. You're going to find the Kata Shodachi, and you're either going to duet us on TikTok or collab with us on Instagram and win 10 tickets for every additional video you do beyond that. So as we say with all the warriors, eye to eye, heart to heart, each one teach one, us.
Hey, this is King Simon, the International Numerovator. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now. Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, numerovation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class.